Hey everyone, it's Random Communications. It's been a while since I made a video, and I've made a couple cosplays. Well, I've only made two. Since my last. So I'm just going to talk about how I made my, one of my recent ones. I recently made a costume for Schwartz, and she is the final boss in a game called Tales of Legendia. Most people haven't heard the game because it didn't get a lot of publicity, and it's from a series that's kind of well known. It's not super huge. But, the Tales of Legendia was made by the same people who made Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Symphonia, and Tales of Grace and Zelia, that, those have yet to be released to America. And so anyway, there's a link to Schwartz and these games in the commentary below. So first off, I'll talk about Schwartz, since she has this very interesting and sinister, I think, sort of look. That's why I chose her, because she looks freaking awesome. And she has these sort of sleeve things that, like they're like this. Okay, and I didn't really think of how to do this other than making these individual. And what I put inside of these is Foam. It's that green stuff at the fabric store. It's foamy and it's fun to poke. I like squishing it. Now, what I did for the pattern is that I did a lot of tracing. I had to make a lot of original patterns because the stuff she wears is really obscure. So imagine this to be my pattern, except larger, because you need at least 1 inch margin for hemming things. So I made my pattern like this, and I cut it out, and I put 2 of them together, and I sewed it, and then flipped it inside out, and then I stuffed the tear foam in there to make it poofy, because starch doesn't work for me. And then now the opening, you can fold in the cloth and sew it in. I just sewed it, and I made this little crease, which is, it doesn't really matter because the paint will typically cover it. And then I used acrylic paint to cover the details because I didn't want to sew it. So these are these two, and this was like this or something. I messed up. I messed up on the painting because it's supposed to be on this side. Anyway. Next, so Schwartz has these arm things that go on like this. Hang on. Okay, and they go like that. Jeez, this was a pain to make. I basically made, like, where's the other one to this? Okay, well, anyway, made the pattern. I also had to trace out the pattern for this. Just a basic sleeve pattern. And, the end, she has these sort of, like, they kind of remind me of petals on a flower, so I also had to trace that out. And, I found out that the best way to do it was to half one of the petals and just sew it together, and like part of the sewing came undone, but it would have been like that. And see, the petal like things are actually supposed to be a lot bigger, because if you look at the illustration, the petals actually go from here to here, and it covers like her whole palm. And there's roughly about 5, and so I just made these too small because I didn't account for the margin of space I needed to hem it. I mean, not hem it, to sew it together. And so after I did that, I realized that I needed to keep this on my arm somehow, and so I folded it inward. This is actually lined with gray, because on the illustration shows that it is lined with gray on the inside, black on the outside. So anyway, I folded some of the fabric inward, and then sewed it, and then so that makes a little tunnel type deal. And then I put an elastic waistband around it. And the best way to do that is to like you attach a safety pin to one end, and then you kind of like squish it through there and pull it out, and then you safety pin them together at the end. So it creates this little elastic waist. I didn't attach this wing with the sleeve because I thought it would be annoying, but it was still annoying because I'd have to like pull up the sleeve and pull up the wing. So you might want to attach the wing to the sleeve anyway. Next up is the corset. And what I did is I went to the fabric store and I found a pattern of a steampunk outfit that kind of resembled Schwartz's outfit. And it had a corset pattern, so I just used the corset pattern. And you have to be really precise with the corset pattern because it has to fit you like a glove, so to speak. And Schwartz has kind of an odd corset type deal because this, like, I don't know, kind of like an apron deal goes like all the way down to like beyond her waist. And so I had to like keep adding and adding and adding, and I messed up. See, this black should actually extend to here, so it matches up here. But I just wore a black undershirt, and it fixed the problem. One thing I noted is that patterns tend to run large. Even if you have exact measurements, they run large. And if you're as flat as a board like I am, you need to have this super, super tight. I took this in, like, I don't know how many times, and it was a pain. Make sure you have room to sew, because I have this line, and then this line, which has this much room to sew, and it's a mess. It's a sewing mess as it's done, but anyway. And there's just a zipper on the back. What I actually, because I'm such a flat-chested person, really the best thing is to get, like, seriously, for cosplay, because women in animes tend to have huge hooters. You probably, if you're a girl, you probably want to get a really big pushup bra. Like, get the bombshell from Victoria's Secret, because that will give you two cup sizes. And you'll be able to fill up that space. Because, like, this kept falling down. It was really awkward, and I was standing in line, because I was like, ugh, and I turned sideways. It was bad. Anyway. What I did eventually was I had a black undershirt, and I pinned it, and I was kind of upset because, like, there was still you could see, like, this, spaghetti straps from the undershirt. And I was like, because Schwartz doesn't have any. She has, she's sleeveless. And it's also, anyway. So that's enough of the corset. Now, Schwartz wears spandex. And so I just went and found exercise pants and painted them. I used a stencil, of course. And that was, yeah, that's pretty easy. I got them on sale on Target. I didn't sew anything because if I can buy it, well, that's not true. I make stuff I could buy, but I just didn't want to screw with spandex fabric. This isn't the other sleeve. We don't need to talk about that. Oh my gosh, the cape. The cape is my favorite. The cape is insane. This was such a crazy endeavor. I love my cape, though. I think it's beautiful, and I'll stand up so you can look at it. And it looks like this on the other side. This is the back side, and it tends out, and here's the underside. Now, this pattern is an altered pattern from the steampunk outfit. She has this floor-length coat that goes with her dress, so I just altered that pattern, and I had to make, so anyway, here's the cape, okay, and the front panels I had to completely do on my own because they're totally different. So I had to, from here, this is part that was sewn. This I traced over and over and over, and I had to do it many times, but this is the self-made pattern, and it hooks across the boobs with a hook eye. Okay. find it. Here we go. There's two. You want to sew the hook eyes much closer together than I did because it created this void that shouldn't be there because it's supposed to be like that. So you'd want to sew the hook eyes further back into the fabric. Like this should have been sewn here, so then it kind of like almost overlapped. But yeah. And I also messed up again and I had to do darting. I had to take this in and I just didn't cut it off. So don't feel bad if you mess up. I messed up so many times, especially on this cape. Like I miscounted the fabric and I had to add on like here and I had to add on over here, and like if you look at the bottom of the cape it's all like screwy looking, but like, you know, people don't pay that close of attention to the inside of your cape, so don't worry too much. And now this white part was all acrylic paint that was painted on, and I sewed the so either sew the black all together and then paint it and then sew the black to the pink because I sewed the black to the pink and then painted it, and what happened is that the white seeped through the other side of the cape, and you can still see like, and I freaked out. I was like, no, and so I had to like wash the whole thing and get it all out before it dried, and it was bad. And what we did is we slid we ripped open a seam and we slid some wax paper in there and painted it up. And I didn't do a perfect job. I painted over some white spots with some black paint, like right here. But anyway, I really like, this is one of my favorite pieces I've ever made. So I love the detail in it. There's so much in it. And for a little flair, I added this lace because I thought it was befitting to her, because her cape actually has this flower end, and I seriously didn't want to sew that, so I just was like, I'm going to put on this flowery lace and call it a day. Okay, now the cape is held up in the back to her necklace. That hurts, okay, because I tried doing that. Okay, it like kills your neck and it puts all this weight on your neck and you feel like you're choking and it's just bad, okay? Like, wear an undershirt and pin it in the back to the undershirt. That's what I did. Saved my life. Let's see. And so anyway, it comes around like this. Bam. Comes up like that. Comes up like this. Oh, I love this thing. I feel so cool in it. I would like walk around my house with like, I'm awesome, and pretend that I was Batman. Anyway, do I have any